Hi guys, rubber band power time again. I'm not going to make a new car in this episode. I'm going to use one of the ones I've done before, but I'm going to convert it from rubber band power on the back axle to put a fan on the back, or propeller, so we can have it propeller driven, fan driven. And rather than use a ready-made fan, I'm going to see if I can make one from some bottle tops, paperclip, beads, and probably a bit of cardboard. Only need a fairly small piece, about, well, it needs to be small enough to fit between the back wheels, although if I raise it up a little bit it wouldn't need it. No, I'll try and get it back here. Not an ideal position, because if we're pushing, all this is in the way, disrupting the airflow, and the same if we're pulling. But I'll make a propeller that can go both ways. So I'm just going to cut this into a strip. This bottle top, I'm going to cut a couple of slots in it that will slot the cardboard propeller into, or the cardboard blade. Put a hole in that. That looks like a handy bottle top. Not sure, might need a different shaped one. Plastic bead between the two to give us a bearing surface, and straighten out a paper clip to go through the middle to grip it and hook onto the rubber band. That's the theory. Actually, just looking through all my bottle tops, this one might be better than that one. Put a little hole in the middle of that. And stick that about there somewhere with a hole. First thing we want to do is decide, this has got little markings all the way around, and I reckon that one and that one are directly opposite each other. So that'll give us a point to cut from. We want a slot coming in that direction, same direction on both sides. So I'll cut that. I've got a little hacksaw I'll use. Yeah. I'll just cut across there, but I'll go and rest it somewhere so I don't cut through my fingers. There we go, just cut it at an angle, same angle. I've also pushed a little hole through the middle of both of them. Strip of cardboard. But at least we can see if it'll work. Now, to get it in there, oh, that's got a, I didn't notice that. Right, it's got to go in there that way, but the other side's got to go in the other way. Which might take a little bit of manoeuvring to get it in there. You could just use two separate blades. And hot glue them in there anyway. Right, paper clip. Need to straighten it out a bit. Let's just ease that back out again. Yeah, that should be alright. I'll put a bit of hot glue in there to hold that in. Then I'll put that on. Then we'll put a bead on there. Then that on there. And bend a loop on the back of it. Just hold that in place. Give it a good layer of hot glue. It's not going to be a very well balanced propeller, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Just want it to hold itself in place so we can wind it up. Thinking about it, this isn't going to be a very strong card for winding it up either. Probably should use something a bit stronger. Maybe cut up a plastic bottle. But we'll use this because that's what I said we were going to use. Right, that's cooled down a bit. One of my plastic beads. Put that on there. And then we want to bend this up into the shape of a hook. Yeah, something like that should do. Okay, that's the general idea. Should be big enough for that to go through. Yeah, then I'll glue this on here. Yeah, that should be clear, I think. Right, let that cool down for a second. Right, pushed my bit of cardboard back in there. Might have a problem. Well, I can always cut them shorter, can't I? But it looks like they're going to hit the back wheels just there. Right, we need to be able to reach in there. So I'll use my barbecue skewer with a hook on the end. Get the rubber band. Because I could have widened the wheels, couldn't I? That would probably have been a better answer. Well, that's the general idea. Time for a test run. I put a barbecue skewer straight down through the mouth there and didn't need the extra rubber band, so that's just hanging free. We've still only got a single thickness of rubber bands. We can always double it up if we need more power. And if I wind it up that way, it's going to unwind that way, so it's going to go backwards in effect. but that should be okay for testing purposes. No idea how many turns I want to put on it. I expect if it breaks we put on too many turns, so I'll just keep going till it feels like it's a bit tightening up a bit. See if it works. Well, that wasn't a bad beginning. Right, we got a double layer of rubber bands this time, so let's see what happens. Well, that actually didn't work as well, did it? Because that was too powerful and it was making it bounce around. So I'll go back to a single layer of rubber bands. We're back to a single string of rubber bands, so less powerful. Hopefully it won't bounce around quite so much. Okay, I've just cut the bottom out of a plastic food tray, so I'm going to cut that as the propeller, see if that helps. Well, apart from the fact we're going off to the right a bit, that was a definite improvement. In fact, we just about doubled the distance. I think we were doing about 3 meters and we've now done about 6 meters. Could be improved a lot, but that works. So happy with that. Yeah, that'll do. Just winding it up the opposite way. I've also bent a bit of a curve into the propeller blades, and we're going to try it as a pusher instead, because I've no doubt I would get a question on that. The only thing is I keep forgetting to count how many turns I'm putting on it, so I'm just trying to judge the way that it knots up in there, trying to get it about the same. Well, that worked all right, didn't it? I think a lot of that was reshaping the propeller. That put a bit of extra strength into it by putting a curve on it, so it held its shape more. Well, that made a real difference, didn't it? I think that was entirely down to reshaping the propeller, just curving it, So it's a better aerodynamic shape, and it makes it stronger having a curve in it, so it doesn't flex around so much.